Hey pros, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So today we're working with one of my alopecia weaving clients, and she came in, of course, for a revamp. So we're going to go ahead and start by cutting down some of her sides and her back. I like to use my 5 or 6 or number 6 guard on my clippers to kind of start the process on my clients. Now, I am not a barber in any sense, but I do prefer to start a little bit longer with my guard than shorter because I don't want to run the risk of taking off hair that my client will potentially need later on. But I also don't want to leave her with too much hair because if it's time for us to do a relaxer, sometimes a lot more hair on the head can just hinder the process, and I want her hair to be nice and bone straight. Now, if you're new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and please don't forget to also thumbs up this video and share it with your family and friends. We are trying to build our channel to 600,000 subscribers, and we can only do that with your help. Now, before we even go to take off the actual weaving portion, which is the top portion of her head, I always like to go ahead and start with the relaxer for clients like herself. Every single client is going to be different, you guys. Some clients you might see me not start with a relaxer. Other clients you might see me not do a relaxer at all. Like, this service that I offer is completely customizable. Everybody's going to be different. Every situation is going to be different. The amount of hair loss is going to be different. Now, at this point, her hair is ready to be shampooed. So I'm going to start off by rinsing majority of the relaxer first. And when I say majority, because there is some relaxer under the weaving portion right on the top part of her head, but we are actually going to be rinsing off everything. So we're going to rinse off the weaving section, which that part is not super important. The goal is, of course, the health of her hair first. So we want to make sure that we get all that relaxer off. And then to remove her top piece or her topper, this is simply us just using water, okay? Remember, I do multiple layers of protection when it comes on to the top portion or the topper pieces for my clients. I really just try to ensure that I'm not causing more damage than good. And remember, these are clients who actually have alopecia already. So the goal is, of course, to give them a style that they can wear and to also, protect whatever hair that they already have up there. Now, of course, I'm going to start by normalizing her first. Normalizing, neutralizing, all one and the same. And then for her crown area, I like to add a little bit of our Soothe and Balance pre-treatment because remember that topper piece was up there. That area is nice and itchy. And we want to make sure that we get all the nooks and crannies because she's about to get this service done again. And the worst thing to have is a itchy head or an itchy scalp. Now, of course, I'm going to go through and just ensure that her hair that we put the relaxer on is nice and neutralized. Please keep in mind, you guys, that that area up in the crown was covered. So she still is going to have residual shedding, okay? The shedding does not stop. Remember, this is something that happens every single day, 50 to 100 hairs. So the hair that you saw me comb down, that was hair that has been sitting and lying dormant for about 4 to 6 weeks that she has not shed. Now, the reason for me clarifying a lot of this is because I want you guys to kind of understand the hair growth process, and that is definitely a part of it, no matter if you have alopecia or not. Now, for her treatment shampoo, now that we've normalized her, I'm going to use our Hair Repair and Revive shampoo. This shampoo is amazing for people who are dealing with issues such as alopecia, any type of hair damage or malnourishing event. I can't get the word out, you guys. But that particular collection / system is going to be your go-to for those of you who are trying to really just regrow or bring the life back into your hair. Now, just because she has alopecia, that doesn't mean that hair care is not still important, okay? There are some people who have different forms of alopecia that you're not able to get away from, but she still has hair around those areas, and this is definitely the time that you want to make sure that you are nurturing every strand that's on the head and don't take any of them for granted because they all matter, as you can clearly tell. Now, to finish the process, I did use some of our Hair Repair and Revive conditioner, which is the 2.0. This is going to soften and hydrate the hair. And then, of course, by the look on her face, you can tell that I used some cool / cold water to rinse that conditioner because that is a part of the process, you guys. Super important. Cool water when you are rinsing. Now I'm just going through and cleaning up her sides and her back. I am going to cover the crown of her head because that is where the weaving service is going to happen. But there is a lot of maintenance that has to be done around the sides and the back, you guys. Now, I always get this question whenever I'm working with clients who have alopecia, or maybe you are one who's a potential client. The biggest question is, what would basically be the requirement for a service like this? I don't offer this service on clients with natural hair unless your natural hair is fine in texture and it can lay flat. That's number one. Number two, I don't recommend this service for people who don't typically want a haircut, because it's very complicated for me to be able to create this illusion unless you want bangs or traditionally a haircut like what my clients have right now. Now, this is not to say that everyone is disqualified because you don't want a haircut. But if you notice, most of my clients who I do this service to, they do end up with a short style because that is the easiest style for them to maintain. That's number one. And number two, it gives a better illusion of it looking like your hair. But if you are one of those people where you have no hair in the crown, you even have the option of doing the hair replacement service, where we are literally putting on a custom made topper and customizing that, like my client that you guys have seen on my channel before. Now, I don't also recommend this service for those people who perspire a lot because you will not get as much longevity. I do have different methods that kind of help for those who perspire, but if you're one who's like me and you perspire heavily, especially in the hair or the head, I wouldn't recommend this service for you either. Another thing that I will also say is this is a customized service. So keep in mind that you don't have to be a super short pixie, but you don't also have to be long with a mushroom cut either. So this service is going to kind of be very customizable for every person that I do it to. And then, of course, the hair that I use for this service is actually very cost effective, and it still gives you good longevity of about no more than 4 to 6 weeks. And now I'm going to be quite honest, 4 to 6 weeks is actually a very long time. I would more than likely like my clients to come in every 3 to 4 weeks, which is typically like once a month. And I feel like that is definitely doable. We have to make time and literally just make sacrifices for ourselves. A lot of you sacrifice your looks or your hygiene in a sense because of bills, but bills don't go away, you guys. They're going to be there forever, like and ever and ever. And I'm just getting into the habit now where there's certain expenses that I have to make for myself. Just like I have to make, sacrifices to pay bills and pay my lights and, buy groceries. I'm not saying to go and starve your family, but you have to do for yourself at some sense. And one time a month is not going to hurt you. If anything, it's just going to motivate you to be even better. So now that we've gotten past all of that good stuff, I'm going through now and just blending the extensions with her hair. That is another thing that's very important when it comes onto these weaving services. This is also a part of the illusion. The cut, the blend, how the tracks are laid, all of this goes hand in hand when it comes on to, the alopecia weaving service. This is definitely a service for my stylists out there that I would really love for you guys to learn, because I cannot service a million people. And there's so many people out there who want to get this service that are in other areas and they can't make it to me, right? So I would love for everybody to really be able to start getting more into hair care and being able to customize services like this for their clients. So to mold her and blend everything together, I'm going to use some of our Elite Silk Wrap Foam. As you guys can clearly tell, if the cut is correct, the mold will look like a shortcut mold, okay? Now, this is one part that you definitely don't want to skip, because you're going to need that hair to lay really, really nicely. And you don't want to give your client big hair. We're not in that season anymore. So as you guys can tell, the blendage is really, really good. And then she'll go under the dryer to dry. And then when she comes out, we're ready to curl her up. So at this stage of the process is where we're going to go ahead and do all of our detailing. We're going to clean up her hairline, make it nice and neat. You're able to do whatever shape hairline you want to do from here. There's really no right or wrong when it comes on to the shape. It just depends on the client. Another thing that I will say, which is really good about this service, is it doesn't really require any maintenance from my clients, right? So I put a little bit of frizz control to give it a nice shine, and then also give it a little more silky feel when I'm curling. And I like to, I guess you call slide curl, whatever you want to call that curl, because I'm making it super easy for my client to lay down in their bed and put a scarf around the sides and the back, their Elite Hair Care scarf to be exact. And then when they wake up in the morning, they can fluff the top if they need to, and then move on from there. So this service is super duper easy, which is another reason why I highly recommend, if you are looking to get a service like this, that you get prepared to get a haircut. If someone else is doing it, of course, everybody's going to be different in what they offer. I specifically prefer to do it this way because I know that my clients who have situations like this client, you traditionally are wearing wigs and you don't really know how to care for your hair in regards to styling it. So why on earth would I give you a style that you can't manage in the first place and then expect you to be successful or not be discouraged? So I like to make this as seamless as possible, as easy as possible for the client. And really the focus, of course, is the crown area and making sure that it blends really, really well and it frames the face really, really well. To finish off the service, I like to go basically like you guys see, from back, right, top, and then I go over to the left to kind of tie everything together. I don't like lines unless the client requests it, so that is the reason why I choose to curl in that direction. But if you notice, the back and the sides don't really have a lot going on. It's super easy to care for, nice and flat, but still has a little bit of shape. And then I'm just cleaning up her sides with my razor just to kind of give it more of a blend with her hair. Okay, super important. Once again, blending, illusion, all of that goes hand in hand, you guys, all of it. So this is another reason why I tell people, like, for services like this, it is not a one size fits all. This requires your creativity. It requires you to understand what the client's needs are, and also the anatomy of the head and what should go where and how it should go. And then from there, that's just the easy part, to just get it to a style like this. Anyhow, I am really done with this service. I'm just going through and detailing and cleaning her up. You guys go and check out my website at EliteHairCareUSA.com to get any of the products that you saw in today's video. And also comment down below and tell me what you thought about the style and the blendage. And then, of course, don't forget to share my channel with your friends and family. We need to get to that 600,000 subscribers. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, I finished off by just, cleaning her up with our double edge brush, which is our dual action brush. And this is definitely a brush that you can use at home. It's an edge brush, but it's also a comb at the same time. And then I kind of sealed the deal with a little bit of holding spray so that she would not have to worry about the top too much. But hope you guys enjoyed. Comment below. See you later. Bye.